Have you ever found yourself comparing yourself to a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, somebody on TV, somebody on the radio? Are you jealous of what they have? Are you jealous of where they're at in their lives? Do you think that you're less of a person because you're not where they're at? Welcome to Be a Better Person. And today we are going to talk about don't compare yourself to others. Teddy Roosevelt once said that comparison is the thief of joy. And so I think what he really meant by that is when you go around all day long comparing yourself to others, comparing where you're at compared to other people, comparing the job you have, comparing how lucky someone is because they inherited money, how lucky they are because they got this great job, because they knew people. Stop. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. Are you a better person than you were yesterday? Are you a better person than you were a year ago, 10 years ago? And again, remember, these things that I say are things that work for me and things that I want to do. I want to have daily improvement. I don't compare myself to anyone else anymore because I have gratitude for what I have. So we think we've been programmed a lot, again, to come up with what the society sees as success, is what society sees as happiness. And we try to put ourselves on other people. We always try to say that, oh, if we had this that so-and-so has, oh, if we had the job so-and-so, if we had their cars, oh my goodness, look at how much fun they have. But we don't know. We're just making assumptions. It's our perception of what we see. Is it really the case? Is it really the truth? We don't know their struggles. We don't know. Maybe they're miserable in their job that we think that they are, have that's wonderful, and they're really miserable. Maybe they're in so much debt and they struggle every day, stressing out about how they're going to pay for things because of all the toys they have. So the thing is we need to say, do we have what we need? Do we have to be a winner? Do we have to be the best? Or are we just happy being who we are? Those are the things that we really have to look deep inside. And again, that's why I stress, if you have your own definitions of happiness, if you have your own definitions of success, you don't compare yourself to other people. I think that most of those things are wrong. And again, it's who we are today better than who we were in the past. Did we learn from our mistakes? Did we learn from things that we've done wrong in the past? Or do we continue to make those same mistakes over and over because we're trying to be like the Smiths or the Joneses? We have to have a big house. And so we put ourselves at risk instead of saying, hey, could we have had what we needed and what would have been perfect for us if we would have settled for a little less? So those are just things I always want you to think. Maybe we're just right where we're supposed to be. And again, every person's circumstances are different based on who their parents were, what their parents were able to provide them, the relationships that they formed, the mentors that they had, the help that they asked for. Because another thing is sometimes that we don't do that. And so again, what's right for me might not work for you. What's right for someone else might not work for me. But the biggest thing is stop comparing yourself. Don't think you have to be like anyone else other than yourself. Don't think that, oh, I'm 40 years old and I don't own a house. Maybe you weren't meant to own a house, but do you have a place to live? Is it somewhere you can afford? And if not, what steps can you take to reach that goal that you think that you need to have? As long as it's what you think you need to have, not because somebody else thinks, oh, your parents said, oh, you should buy a house. Oh, you should do this. You should do that. Oh, don't try to be an artist. You should become a corporate executive. No, do what's right for you and don't compare to other people. If we focus on what others have instead of what we have, we're never going to be happy. We need to focus on, do we have what we need? A roof over our head, a place to live, family that loves us. If you really look at those things, you'll find more times than not, you have what you need. Comparing yourself to others will never help you improve. Making a plan, deciding who you want to be, what you want to be, what will make you happy, what you think is success. Deciding those things and then making a path to get to those, that is what will make you happy and or successful. not comparing yourself. So I was 22 years old when I got my very first car. And I had tons of friends whose parents had the ability to buy themselves a car, their kid a car, and pay the insurance. That was not going to be an option for me. Matter of fact, I had to, starting when I was like 14 years old, work all summer long, hoeing beans, picking peppers, coring peppers, picking pickles, hauling hay, all of those things, and do as much as that I could close by, because I lived out in a rural area. I couldn't just get a regular job because I had no vehicle to get me there. I had no means. I could have bought a cheap vehicle possibly when I saved, but then how am I going to pay insurance the whole year? In 14 and 15, and didn't have a car, didn't have a license. So I had to find those things and save to not only buy my school clothes, but to get me through on my expenses throughout the school year until the next summer came and I could really start going. Then I went off to college. Again, could never really afford to buy the things that I afford a car. So I had to put myself through college. And then even when I got out of college, I had to use my mom's car, I think, for the first 8 months in my job. Before I thought I was in a financial situation, because I had student loans I had to pay off. And then, very fortunate, thank you to my cousin's husband, George, he co-signed for my first car. Otherwise, I would have never got that either, because my mom didn't have that ability. But he was nice enough to do that, and I told him he'd never have to worry about the bank calling him, and I think I paid that car off a year early. And then from then on, I was able to just keep going up and getting different cars. Always practical, never flashy, just because I said I just need to get from point A to point B, because I didn't need to have a fancy car. I didn't need to have what my friends had when they had Camaros, and I didn't need any of that stuff. I needed something that was practical, get me from point A to point B. So again, I could have compared myself and wallowed in self-pity that I didn't have a car. But, once I was 22, I got one, and I had gratitude that I was able to get around all the other times through friends and family members and everything. But I just didn't compare. I didn't compare because I was in a completely different situation. And I was happy that all those other people, so they gave me lots of rides because they got their cars when they were 16. So what are some things that you've done to stop comparing yourself to others? Have you gotten to that point where you realize that you don't need to compare yourself to others, that you're good enough, that you are right where you need to be? Do you practice gratitude so that you don't have to always think that other people have more than you and that you have to strive to have what they have? And how did you change that mindset? Did it just come to you naturally, or did you have a mentor that told you about, hey, start thinking about this, start thinking about that? And again, you're good enough. You are right where you need to be. And again, if you're not, you'll come up with a plan. You'll figure it out. But don't do stuff just because society or friends or family tell you that that's what you need to do. You need to make all those decisions on your own. And I think that you'll find that that's part of your happiness. And if you're grateful for what you do have instead of what you don't have, that'll help bring you happiness as well. And success is only what you feel that success is, not what anybody else feels that success is. So just always remember, your smile makes me smile. Be kind, be grateful, and be helpful. And until next time, have a wonderful day.